So here is the Chaves all finished up, and I'm going to talk about the things that I did to this knife, starting with the scales. Now the customer was wanting more of a darker green anodized look to the titanium. So this is kind of what I landed on, just below or before it turns into a lime green. This is the darkest I could get it, but really, really pleased with those. And then I also anodized the backspacer and the pocket clip, a purple color. And you guys can see here the stone wash really comes through. It's kind of nice because you get kind of two purples to this. You get a lavender and then a darker purple, with that stone wash being the lavender. And I think the colors just go really, really well. And more than likely, I'm assuming the customer is going for that kind of that Joker theme with the purple and green. And then here is the backspacer. So I anodized it the exact same amps to get that purple and lavender, which is really, really nice. Then as you guys can see, I did a rock pattern texture, and then I stone washed it just to match everything else. But really, really pleased with how this turned out. And it just looks really cool in the right light. Just really dances. Really happy with the backspacer. And then the last thing I did was the blade here, or the spine of the blade. Added the rock pattern texture as well. Again, in the right light, you can see the grain from the 320 grit Dremel drum. Just really, really happy with it. Went around the corner, and then I even did the finger choil, or the finger groove down here. It was kind of tight to get in here, but I was able to sneak the Dremel in there and get it. And the customer's happy with it, so really, really excited to get this thing assembled because I haven't even seen it yet all put together. But this knife is a user, as you guys can see from the scratches. So I'm sure this is going to see a lot of use, as it did before. And the blade came to me a little dull, so I gave him a fresh, aggressive cutting edge. So very, very sharp now. That's pretty much all I did to this Chaves. So let's put this in together and see what it looks like. So here it is all assembled, and as you guys saw, I put some gloves on since I didn't want to get any of the oils from my fingers on the titanium. But there's the show side scale, and here's the pocket clip side. Now, I did get some oil from putting it on the bearing, so I'm going to have to clean that up with some Windex. But really, really awesome contrast with the purple and the green. Since the finish is a little bit different on the pocket clip, I did anodize the backspacer, same amps, but since it's a lot fresher and shinier, I guess if you will, it turned out to be a little bit brighter. So it is a little bit different than the pocket clip. Just a nice contrast from the other purple. It just gives it another dimension, I guess. Let's check it out opened up. And I actually really like it. It's a very heavy knife, and I noticed on the inside there isn't any internal milling. But I kind of like the weight of this knife. I think it feels good in hand. Great ergos. And one thing I wanted to mention was the customer had an issue with all the corners being a little too sharp. And I kind of understand what he was talking about, because when I was holding this before I fixed the issue, you could kind of feel it in the back of your palm, especially back here. So what I did was I took some 1000 grit sandpaper, lightly kissed all these sharp points on the outside, here on the bottom as well, and then basically wherever there was sharp corners, and now it feels a lot better. I can't feel it with the glove, but I did a comparison test when I just did one scale, just kind of rubbed it against my palm, and then once without sanding it, and it's a big, big difference. So it's a lot more comfortable, and we'll show you guys the rock pattern texture here on the spine. Just love doing this texture. It's really, really fun, and I know I've said in the past that I'll do a video on it, but I promise you guys I will be doing a video, a full how-to video how to do this texture. It's just really fun, and you can't really mess it up. But there it is. Let's check it out. Closed up. And then we can transition to the backspacer. Same exact Dremel bit, so you have the same sized rock pattern texture. And there it is on that finger choil. Again, just does some cool stuff in the light. I really love the action on this knife. Very snappy, and the drop shut action is very, very glassy smooth and just falls into place. Overall, I think it's just a great knife. And the only thing I really wish this thing had was titanium thumb studs, because I really wanted to anodize these purple to match the clip and the backspacer. But I think it still looks really, really good, and it's not overdone. It's just the right amount of color. As always, you guys, let me know down below what you guys think of how this thing turned out. And that's pretty much it for this Chaves. Again, thank you for the support. I really, really appreciate it. And as always, I will see you guys on the next one.